let's do this because this is applicable. So here is an interesting, this is an interesting segment. This is a video that was posted on Twitter, and this was sent to me. So this was posted on Twitter, and then someone saw this and then was like, yo, I wonder what Andrea would have to say about this. And then they sent it to me. This is the domino effect is what we're talking about, right? And then I, on a very rare occasion, checked my Twitter DMs, saw the video, added it to my bookmarks, and here the fuck we are. This is Ben goddamn motherfucking Shapiro talking to some kids. He is indoctrinating some children live. Well, actually, this is a pre-recorded tape, but this guy is indoctrinating children. And like, what the hell? We need to have a complete and total shutdown on Ben Shapiro's until we figure out what the hell's going on.
Government is what takes all of your money and gives you very little in return.
That is not true.
Okay, that's kind. I mean, it's kind of true. It depends on.
Okay, so the best part about this is, one, I assume that Ben Shapiro uploaded this. Like, I assume that this was like a project that was like by his company or like that he did. And I, like, why would you leave that in there? A kid just owned you. A kid is like, what you said is not true, and then you immediately buckle. So, like, we're like 5 fucking seconds in. We're 5 seconds in, and already Ben Shapiro's gotten owned by, like, a 6-year-old. But let's continue.
Government is what takes all of your money and gives you very little in return.
That is not true.
Okay, that's kind. I mean, it's kind of true. It depends on the kind of government.
Taxes are for.
Yeah, that is what taxes are for, but taxes are theft, children. Taxes are, the government takes a part of the money that you spend, or the money that you earn, or the property value of your house.
On useless stuff about debt.
Mostly, yes. I mean, they're supposed to spend it on things like the police. They're not supposed to spend it on just random projects or silly things that they have in their head, and they tend to spend it on kind of silly things very often. But as you get older, you will realize how little you like taxes.
Yeah, he's way off base about that.
I come from...
He's way off base about that. That's really good. Now, again, folks, I really need you to understand, like, could you imagine a scenario where I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want politically in front of a group of, like, kindergartners? Yo, if I had that chance, if there was, like, an Andrea power hour that I could do in front of, like, some 6-year-olds, I guarantee you I would turn them all into communists in, like, 20 minutes. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, because, you know, honestly, that's what we need. We need to indoctrinate children to love each other. Because think about this. This is something I talk. Well, I'll get into my little fucking spiel that will last 20 minutes after this clip. Let's keep going.
From a state called California, where monsters roam the streets and garbage is strewn everywhere.
Monsters roam the streets. What does that even mean? Like, he could mean like homeless people that are monsters. Does he mean like black people, like Black Lives Matter? Like what does he mean by monsters roam the streets? What the fuck does that mean? I'm serious. Like, okay, I live in California where monsters roam the streets. What? Like, what could he possibly be referring to there? Like, the only two things that I could think of are either homeless people or black people. That's, what else could he possibly be referring to when he says monsters roam the streets? I have no idea.
I think that Biden kind of makes up the rules.
Yo, imagine, like, talking to 6-year-olds about Biden's, like, minutia and his legislative agenda. Like, what? What? Right? Like when I was like 6 years old, like I kind of knew like who Bush was, but not really. You know, but imagine like you're 6 years old and some guy's talking to you about like, did you hear about Joe Biden's, you know, deficit spending on his latest budget proposal of the motherfucker? This is like kindergarten, bro. What are you talking?
He goes. I don't think, unfortunately, he cares very much about the rules for being president. I think he just tries to do whatever he can do.
Oh, Biden doesn't care about the fucking rules of being president. The next story I'm going to talk about is Donald Trump literally saying that he wanted to overturn the election. He admitted it presumably on purpose, but people think it might be on accident. But again, so Donald Trump, does anyone remember January 6th? Okay, so Donald Trump literally lost an election so bad, he got creamed so hard, right, that he literally tried to destroy the United States government, and he sent his minions in there. Some of them wanted to kill his own vice president, and he still has not apologized. But Biden's the one who doesn't care about the rules.
Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia is my current favorite Democrat. He's preventing Joe Biden from doing a lot of bad things. So guys, you just learned more.
Now that's interesting. That's an accidental, like, you know, that should be clipped on, like, I'm not even gonna lie, right there, right? Like, that should be on every single campaign ad for every Democratic policy item. Ben Shapiro complimenting Joe Manchin. That's it. That's all you need. Anyone who knows Ben Shapiro knows he's a fucking piece of garbage. And if Ben Shapiro is a fan of Joe Manchin, then boom, we're good to go. But I want to talk about indoctrination. I want to talk about schools. This is obviously a horrible fucking idea. This is horrible. Ben Shapiro, again, let's be honest here. We have to be honest. He is, again, a modern day Nazi. Now, oh, but Ben Shapiro's Jewish, blah, 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 blah. That's usually the fucking response that they give here. But again, this guy is a hardcore Israel supporter. Let's be honest. Let's look at Israel's, the current state of what's going on with the Palestinian, people there. Not looking so good, right? This guy supported Donald Trump and still supports Donald Trump after he tried to install himself as a fascist dictator. I'm sorry. If you are still on the Trump train, you're a Nazi. It's a full stop. Any disagreements are not welcome because you're a fucking moron, and we're obviously not living in the same fucking universe. Neo-Nazis and Confederates stormed the Capitol on Donald Trump's orders, right, and tried to kill the vice president and the Speaker of the House and members of Congress. And Donald Trump said that they were good. He called them special. He called them good people, and he's offered pardons. Again, I'm going to go into that in the next story here. Donald Trump is offering pardons to people that stormed the fucking Capitol. These are Nazis. These are not like, oh, we just disagree on budgeting and deficit spending. No, motherfucker. These are Nazis, okay? There's the monsters in California. Who the fuck are the monsters? Poor people? Like minorities? Who the fuck are these monsters? Now, again, they are letting actual Nazis try to educate and indoctrinate children. But this is not like, oh, whoa, Ben Shapiro is Kids are being indoctrinated in schools all the time. I know right-wingers love this idea, the critical race theory, and like left-wing like books are like destroying America or something. But let's be honest. Let's look at the education in this fucking country. Schools are basically glorified daycare facilities, and that's their primary goal. The primary goal of schools in this country is not to educate an intelligent populace. That's actually not even a goal at all, right? The primary goal of schooling is daycare so that their parents can go to work like good little drones. And the secondary goal of school in this fucking country, in the United States of goddamn America, is to indoctrinate kids into thinking capitalism is a good idea. It makes them useful drones and workers. It doesn't teach them how to eat healthy. No. Fuck that. Why would we care about teaching kids actual life skills like cooking and nutrition and things like that, and health and safety and science? No. Fuck that. We're going to teach them math, I guess, but nothing too important, right? So we're going to teach them history, but not real history, but the American mythology, where America's always the good guy. And yes, the nuclear bombs were a great idea, and slavery wasn't so bad. And, George Washington had a cherry tree, and he had wooden teeth. Ha ha ha, right? Like, these are all these great myths that we're taught. And Martin Luther King Jr. fixed racism a long time ago. That's why all the photos of him are in black and white in the history books. Everything else is in color, except for the photos of Martin Luther King Jr., because he fixed racism a long, long time ago. Schools in this country have no interest at all in educating people to be intelligent, free-thinking people in a critical thinking society. They don't give a fuck. They are glorified daycare facilities with the secondary goal of creating drones and soldiers for capital, cogs in the machine. That's all they give a fuck about. Now, is that to say all teachers are complicit? No. A lot of teachers, if not most teachers, if not all teachers. Now, I'm not going to say all teachers because I know there's right-wing freak show teachers, right? But a lot of teachers get into the education business and schooling to help children, and a lot of teachers are able to help children break out of these cycles. Not every teacher is just a worker, an obedient drone trying to pass down the mythology of capitalism in America to the new generations. A lot of teachers are like that. Pretty much every teacher I had in school, I'm 25, so I didn't go to school that long ago, right? Almost every single teacher I had in school was just another drone, another cog in the machine, didn't actually give a fuck and just gave us the fucking bare minimum capitalist indoctrination, right? But sometimes you have, you read stories online of teachers actually caring, and that's a good thing, and that should be happening more. And this is why there's such a right-wing rampage when it comes to schools and teachers, is because every now and then you read a story about a teacher who actually gives a shit about students. And I had maybe one teacher in my schooling that actually gave a shit, right? And then that's the problem. Those are the exception. And so that's why right-wing media is trying really hard to like get them fired. There's lots of cases where teachers will talk about how it's okay to be gay, and then boom, they lose a job because right-wing media like says, well, how dare you teach sex to the children. Right, like, right-wingers are fucking stupid. So again, I need you to understand, like, yes, Ben Shapiro's funny, ha ha ha, kid clowned on him in the first 5 seconds. Oh, but also he's indoctrinating students into being Nazis, and also he's just blatantly lying to students. But also that's what schools do all the time. This is not an exception. This is not a unique. Oh my God, Ben Shapiro. This is not unique. This is happening every day all across this country, especially in the South. So fuck schools in this country. Fuck all that garbage, and fuck you. Don't fuck you actually, but fuck you if you're like, one of these people that I'm talking about negatively. But if you're not one of those people that I'm talking about negatively, then don't fuck you. Unless you want me to fuck you, then maybe, but you're gonna have to pay me for that one. But anyway, there you go. That's Ben Shapiro.